Good morning, darlings. It's almost lunchtime, and with the time change, it's completely rearranged my setting because I love to take advantage of the shadows, like you know. But today, I'm doing a 2-card reading, and it's actually on menopause, of all things. But I have a good friend. I've never met her face to face. She's somebody I only know through chat on the internet. But she said to me today, I think I'm in menopause. Please tell me I'm not dying. And I laughed. I'm 70-ish, so I've been through a lot of the changes that happen as a woman gets older. However, what I want to tell her and everybody else is no, you're not going to die. Although it's kind of a tower moment. I mean, a part of us does need to change. Obviously, the body's doing its thing. But one of the things I found, and I did not make this up, it was told to me, that there's a good chance that everything that was not settled when you were a teenager, between the age of 13 and 23 even, any emotional baggage that has not been settled will come back. It echoes back during menopause. And so that's part of why you feel fragile, because you were able to hide those things away from yourself for most of your life, okay? So what I want to do is draw 2 cards here. One, it is going to represent the divine masculine, and the second is going to represent the divine feminine. Now, in contrast, we have the distorted masculine, and we have the distorted feminine. Those are energies in us that really show their weakness and their not being balanced once we get to that menopausal stage. I am not a doctor. I'm just a woman who survived menopause, and so that's why I'm doing this reading for us today. So I did select these cards purposely because I wanted to choose cards that showed, honored the stages that you've gone through up until this point. The wands are the suit of our power, our manifesting power, and they're the suit of expansion. And so when you are feeling squeezed by life and you're having a hard time remembering how strong you are because you're feeling more frail, or you're feeling the body changes are knocking you on your ass, that's why I picked this particular card for us to look at. Because I was told by a good friend of mine the other day on the beach, when she said it's the divine masculine's role to protect and preserve the divine feminine. So what we've done, many of us who have been working on our own or being single for a long time, that's true of me, 8 years, I've had to stand up and be my own partner for survival's sake. And I have not dated much over the time because I really wanted to keep my focus on what was most important, which was my survival. So when we look at these cards, though, I'm sorry for those nails, I just got out of the garden. But when we look at the 9 of Wands, both of them signify great courage and great perseverance, determination on a path of development. Remember that the wands being the expansive suit of the tarot that's showing our fire, right? And you have worked your whole life to this point developing certain passions and powers that are undeniably yours. So the 9 is showing us that you're almost at the close of a cycle. That 10, when we get to the 10 of Wands, there's a closure to a certain part of your personality development. The Page of Wands is a wonderful energy that comes after the 10. And it's an energy of new beginnings and excitement and messages and, opportunities. But you need to get there. So the 9 of Wands is here to tell you, good job. You're really doing quite well. So the first message for those of you who are feeling a little sad or intimidated by going into quote unquote the change is that the spirits and guides that are in your life want you to know you're doing great and they're right there with you. Now let's look at the difference in what we're seeing here. I believe that this card, protect what you have created, of course. Be prepared, of course. Never give up, of course. Now, this is the hard part. Ask for help. The distorted masculine will never let you ask for help. The distorted masculine says, put in that extra shift. The distorted masculine says, don't go out socially. Take on another shift. Make another YouTube video. Go to another networking event. That's the energy of this card in the artist rendition. We have a woman who is absolutely battle ready. And I'm sure that there's some people listening that are that woman, battle ready. However, you can be misunderstood. You can be taken the wrong way. And that's what can make all the difference for you in this next stage. A little bit of you goes a long way. Your fire is very fiery. You don't have to worry. It's not going out. So what to do? Right now, if you look at the bottom sentence, it says that environmental activism and animal rights are part of the equation. Look at that wand that's between her legs. Okay? It's red. You do need something to light your passion up that's yours and yours alone. So that's why taking on an animal rights or environmental activism role can be really fulfilling. Your root chakra, which is red, your creativity chakra and your sexual chakra, orange, and your personal identity, yellow, they're all represented in this card. And so when you pour your passion into somewhere where it's really needed, you will empower yourself to step into the next level. However, this is depicting a masculine energy. So how does that balance? So this would be the advice coming from the divine feminine. And it's strong, right? You must stand up for what you've created. You do not want to slide backwards. So how is the distorted masculine ruining this? Let's go over to our divine masculine. I'm kind of loving how the sun is creeping along, because it really does show us that time passes, right? Time is constantly passing. And our view of our situation, the light and the shadow, changes all the time. So let's look at the advice we're getting from the divine masculine. What do we notice? There's not any defensiveness, right? There's no weapons. So the message is, are you trusting the energy of this? Yes, you have to dig in to find your true identity, to balance that divine feminine and divine masculine. But the habits of the distorted masculine that have you working so hard you don't even let yourself take a nap, that's very out of balance. So the divine masculine wants to protect, remember? The divine masculine wants to protect the divine feminine. So the divine masculine is saying, get ready for this fight. Get ready for doing what you need to do to climb to the next level. But take time out to sit outside in the garden. I don't care if it's cold. Get outside, connect with nature, and know that you do have friends. You know who your true allies are, and you need to ask them for advice if you need it. Secondly, remember that being able to cut off negative thinking, what you think about, you bring about. So if you keep thinking to yourself how unwell you feel, the divine masculine would say, cut that out for sure. Choose your thoughts carefully. Rest when you need to, and know that you're almost there. And I think the divine masculine would whisper to you this: you don't need any weapons. You don't need any weapons. And I agree. because we always create first on the inside. If you weren't wasting a lot of time thrusting your weapons around and juggling them, picking which one to use in your manifesting, maybe you could just relax and go inside and do the inner work first. So, okay, I kind of lost my way there for a second. I'm in love with the idea of looking at this card in these two different versions. And it may be hard for you to align with someone that you can trust for help here. So I'm going to come back and do more readings for women who are in this place, all right? Because I'm kind of excited about watching this time creep along and being able to help and inspire you during what can be a really difficult situation physically and can challenge your thinking. So the last bit of advice I have is spend more time with your eyes closed, sitting upright, and be aware of the sensations that you're feeling in your body. Can you feel the weight of your leg on the chair? Can you feel the wind blowing on your skin? Can you hear things that you wouldn't hear if your eyes were open? Very simple physical tools that will help you get through this, I promise. Let's talk again soon.